Peace and love, everyone. Kazimbe Abena, synergetic coach and healer here. And I just want to share a relatively brief message. This is something that was just put upon my heart. I believe Spirit put it on my heart, and I've got to communicate it. It's been with me for a couple weeks now. And the message is that those of us who believe that we are strange in regard to our families or even the community, uh, believe that we don't have a place, feel out of sorts, maybe feel a bit disconnected, just seek to do things differently, have a different perspective and outlook on life, practice a different religion or spiritual system than our family members and or community. But let's keep it with family. Let's keep it within the family. Uh, have had a very unique and non-traditional path in terms of either career or education, but are still very energetically sensitive, perhaps emotionally sensitive, which the emotions tends to be the entry point of spiritual and energetic sources. Perhaps you struggled with understanding or lining yourself with the status quo, with the mainstream. My message to you today is that it's could very well be because you are chosen. Unbeknownst maybe to even yourself and certainly to other members of the family, you who perhaps were considered or are considered the quote unquote black sheep, the misfit, the strange one, you indeed are the one that carries the spiritual health of the family, the spiritual welfare of the family. You indeed are the one who has been chosen, who has the capacity and the ability to right the path of your ancestors, your family, to correct the missteps, to release the negative burdens, to elevate your legacy, your family, your lineage. You have that. You are the chosen one. It often does not look like it. And that's the catch. We can't get caught up in things looking a certain way, meaning the person who did all the right things, they did everything that society expected them to do, and they did it the right way. It's not how spirit works typically at all, because that presumes that all that mainstream society wants us to do is right. And I'm not saying that all mainstream society wants us to do is wrong, but I'm saying it is a closed minded and misguided perception to assume that because something is normalized or prevalent or ubiquitous, that it's the way to go. Spirit doesn't care about things like that. Spirit deals with the principalities behind institutions, the principalities behind the laws, the principalities behind groups, the principalities behind rules and standards and traditions and normal quote unquote behavior. Perhaps you have struggled with a type of addiction because you are so sensitive, so you're trying to deaden your senses so that you don't receive so much stimuli. Perhaps You were raised in the church, but you got to a point where it just wasn't providing enough answers. Perhaps you have guilt about that. I want to say that it's not about you having to abandon what you believed, or it's not about condemning what you believed, but it's about saying, all right, that served as a foundation and it got me to this point. However, now that I'm at where I'm at today, I'm ready to take the next step. And in order for me to take the next step, my belief system has to also evolve and expand. That way we can keep what we've learned in the past, what was passed down to us by our immediate family, and say, okay, this served a purpose. This helped me formulate a foundation of belief. So with that in place, I'm now ready to take the next step and build upon that, as opposed to having to discard or feeling that we have to discard all that we were taught and have learned. So perhaps you've been feeling guilt about that. I'm here to tell you that these are all the workings of Spirit, Spirit working in you to expand you, to be able to do the duty, fulfill your destiny of forwarding the healing and the trajectory and path of your family. It may look strange, it may even feel strange, but the solution is acceptance of this esteemed position in your family. Doesn't matter if other members of your family see it or not, it doesn't matter. You have to know it. You have to build a personal relationship with Spirit and a personal relationship with your ancestors that have passed. They will also let you know that it is you who is that special one in this generation to take your family where it needs to go. If you're feeling all the burdens, the ills of your family, you're aware of all of them and no one wants to deal with them, no one wants to face them but you, then it is your duty, and again, it is an esteemed duty. I don't want you to see this as a burden, but you have the ability to forgive, release, and help your family evolve past the ills. You have the ability to break those familial curses, those family curses, those ancestral curses, either through you, either you do it yourself, or you have the ability to do that work with a priest, priestess, etc., shaman, etc. But because you are aware, because you can't let it go, means that it's up to you, that you have the ability, the capacity. Spirit and your ancestors have chosen you to put a stop to it, to release it, to break the curse, to break the bad luck. You have the power to take your family, your ancestors, your legacy, your progeny to the next level. You. It is you. There's one in every family. And typically that person does not look like what society deems as the perfect person. I.e., perhaps you didn't go through the typical career or career path or trajectory. Again, you tried to go to church and now you want to, typical Christian church, and now you want to study something else. Perhaps your family was Muslim, but you want to study something else now. Perhaps they were Jewish, but you want to study something else now. That's your spirit and your soul expanding to embrace who you really are. So the best way through this is to acknowledge and know. And when you acknowledge and know this, you are honoring the charge that your ancestors put on you and put in you to fulfill this destiny. And this destiny is the destiny of uplifting your entire family line. That's what this is about. That's who you are. That's what you are about in regard to your family. So you have a place. Whether your other family members know it or not, you are essential to the spiritual welfare of your family. You hold the heart of your family. It's you. Yes, I'm talking to you. It's you. It's you. If you are looking at this video, it is you that has been chosen. The only issue that we have here is that you have yet to accept it. To find peace within yourself, to find peace within your calling, within your destiny, you must accept it. That is all that you need to do, because the support is already there for you to fulfill your destiny. And I can guarantee that once you do this, once you make the step of this acceptance of you being the light of the family, the light bearer of the family, the priest in your family, that your life will shift and change for the better. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but what I am saying is that that is going to be a cornerstone or a foundation for the source of your identity. Because up till now, you kind of got it wrong. Meaning that your mind has fooled you into thinking that you needed to be like everyone else. Your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, doing what your aunt wanted you to do, your aunt, your uncle, your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather. And while they were well-intentioned, most of them didn't see you and who you are. But there was probably that one that did, though. There was probably one that did. And perhaps she was the weird one of her generation, or he was the weird one of his generation. And they said little things to you, just kind of dropping little hints and jewels here and there. But they're waiting for you to make the decision to be the light of your family. It's who you are. It's who you were born to be. Accept it. Feel the joy of it. Feel the prestige of it. Know that you have a place and a duty, and that you matter far more than you can ever imagine. It's time. In this critical time in our lives where things are happening that have never happened. Certainly not in modern history. It's time for those of us that are light bearers, that are priests, and when I say priests, I'm saying that to include both masculine, male and female. It's time for us to stand up. We are needed. We are needed to heal our families. We are needed to heal our communities. We are needed to heal our nation. We are needed to heal the world. We are needed. You are needed. And it starts with you first. It starts with us as individuals first, then to our families, and then beyond. However Spirit sees fit. But first, accept who you are. No more hiding. Take pleasure and delight and gratitude for the power and the capacity that you have to uplift and heal your family. If you're finding that you've had certain challenges with perhaps addictions or something, or issues, seek help. Seek help. Recenter yourself. But operate differently. Know that you are a sensitive being and you can't do what everyone else does. It's not who you are. So now it's about you discovering and accepting all of who you are as a unique being, as the priest of your family. It is time for you to step fully into who you are. Peace and blessings to you. Great good fortune to you. Peace, love, and liberation. My name is Kazembe Abena, synergetic coach and healer. I'm out.